What if the reason your life still feels stuck is not because you are lazy, not because you are unworthy, but because you are vibrating in the wrong frequency? What if all the effort you pour into vision boards, affirmations, and strategies is only fueling the very loop that traps you? This is the part nobody tells you. Thinking is surface. Vibration is the root. And until you master that, your desires will always remain just out of reach. Listen carefully. Time is not waiting for you. The window to shift is right now. Every moment you hesitate, you reinforce the same vibration that keeps you bound to the old reality. The universe is not moved by what you say. It is moved by what your nervous system transmits when the world is not watching. That's why someone who silently radiates trust pulls synchronicities without even trying, while another person, chanting mantras in desperation, sees nothing change. Your energy screams louder than your words, and your body remembers everything. The tension between what you claim and what you actually feel is the reason you almost manifest but never fully arrive. This is the silent war you have been fighting. The war between intellect and frequency, between the checklist of the mind and the truth of the heart. And here is the secret that most will never hear. Reality does not bend to performance. Reality bends to coherence. So the question is no longer, what do you want? The question is, who are you becoming in this exact moment? Because every second you delay alignment, another door closes. And once it closes, it may not open again. Today is not about waiting. Today is about becoming the frequency that reality has no choice but to mirror. Will you continue to think about your dream life, or will you finally embody the one who already lives it? Ask yourself right now, how many times have you believed that repeating words would be enough? How many times have you been told to just think positive and everything will change? But deep down, did it ever fully work? Did it ever give you the life you craved? Or did it leave you with an almost reality, a taste of what could be, but never the fullness? This is the trap. A culture addicted to control. A system that overvalues logic and underestimates the language of the heart. You have been conditioned to believe that strategy is the key, that checklists will save you. But the price is delay, resistance, and a life that never fully shifts. The truth is simple. Thoughts create images, but vibration creates reality. Thought without vibration is like trying to start a fire with air. The spark never ignites. Vibration is not what you speak when everyone is watching. Vibration is what you feel in silence, in the moments when no one else can hear you. That is the broadcast the universe responds to, and science confirms it. Bob Proctor, Joe Dispenza, and countless others have shown the same principle. The law of vibration states clearly, the universe reacts not to your words, but to your frequency. This is not philosophy. This is mechanics. Energy is constant, and your frequency shapes the field that reflects back your life. Think of this. A young entrepreneur in California tried every book, every seminar, every affirmation. He built vision boards, repeated mantras, pushed himself harder than anyone. And still, nothing worked. Success remained just out of reach. Love remained distant. Opportunities slipped away. Until one moment. He learned that it was not about pushing, not about thinking harder, but about shifting vibration. He aligned his inner state, not just his words. And when he did, everything unlocked. His business grew. His relationships deepened. His life finally mirrored what he had always imagined. This is the proof you need. Desire without vibration is only noise. But when desire merges with vibration, it becomes a magnet. And reality cannot resist dot. So I ask you again, are you living as the frequency of your dream life? Or are you only thinking about it? Because the difference is everything. The difference is the gap between almost and fully. The difference between longing and living Feel the urgency. Right now, in this very second, your nervous system is broadcasting a signal. That signal is shaping what tomorrow will look like. If you send the same vibration you sent yesterday, you will repeat the same story. If you shift now, even slightly, the mirror of reality must shift with you. This is not magic. This is coherence. Mind and heart speaking the same language, creating the same field. That is when you become magnetic. That is when doors open. That is when synchronicity flows to you, not away from you. So what will you choose? Will you keep waiting for signs? Or will you become the sign? Will you keep begging for proof? Or will you embody the proof? Remember this. Reality bends to coherence. Your energy speaks louder than your language. The universe listens to all of you, not just the part of you that performs optimism. So step into it. Feel it now. Declare it not with words, but with vibration. And if you are ready to finally shift, to finally stop circling the same old patterns, then make it real in this moment. Comment, say it, affirm it with action. Declare, I am ready to change my frequency. Because once you do, the field cannot help but respond. The only question left is this: if not now, when? If not you, who? And if not this moment, then what moment will you ever claim your true power? You are not in your body. Your body is in your consciousness. Let that sink in. How many times have you been told the opposite? That your awareness lives in your skull, trapped behind your eyes, bound by flesh and age. But what if that belief is the cage? What if everything you thought was limiting you is nothing but an illusion? Ask yourself, have you ever felt a moment so vivid, so expansive, that time dissolved? A moment where your awareness stretched far beyond your skin. That was not imagination. That was truth revealing itself. For too long you have been conditioned to believe that the brain is the source, that neurons fire and somehow create you. But what if the brain is not the generator? What if it is only the receiver? A radio tuned to the signal of your consciousness. A receiver that translates vibration into experience. And if that is true, what does it mean for you? It means you are not confined to your body. You are not reduced to your age. You are not bound by the chemical limits of biology. You are vast. You are non-local. You are the field in which the body appears. Science is beginning to whisper what mystics have shouted for centuries. Stuart Hameroff and Roger Penrose proposed the OR theory, that consciousness arises not from matter, but from quantum vibrations inside the microtubules of brain cells. Critics call it controversial, but controversy is the seed of revolution. If consciousness is quantum, then it cannot be contained by a skull. It cannot be trapped by matter. It exists beyond . So pause for a moment. Feel the weight lifting. You are not a prisoner inside skin and bone. You are the infinite space in which skin and bone appear. The body is not your cage. It is your antenna. It picks up signals, translates vibrations, and lets you walk inside the physical dimension. Think of what that means for healing. A physician in New York once shared his story. He carried childhood wounds for decades. Trauma buried deep, carved into his nervous system. Therapy gave him words. Medicine dulled the pain, but nothing touched the root. Until he began to meditate. Until he practiced experiencing consciousness beyond his body. He described the moment his awareness expanded as the first true breath of his life. And as he repeated that practice, the trauma began to dissolve. His body followed the signal of a new vibration. He healed from the inside out. This is not fantasy. This is the frontier of science and spirit meeting. Consciousness is not locked away. Consciousness is the canvas, and your body is the brush. And when you realize this, you step into freedom that few ever taste. So the question becomes urgent. If you are not inside the body, what boundaries are you still obeying? Why do you act as if you are trapped by age, weight, or memory, when all along those were signals interpreted by an antenna? What happens when you retune the antenna? What happens when you align with a higher frequency? Can you feel it? That subtle pull inside you? That whisper that you are bigger than you believed? That is not imagination. That is remembrance. Imagine living as the field, not the form. Imagine waking each day, knowing your body is not a cage but a tool. Imagine walking into every room radiating the vibration of trust, peace, or love, and watching the world rearrange itself to match you. This is coherence. This is what happens when your mind stops pretending it is the master and your heart begins to speak its frequency. The illusion of separation crumbles, and what remains is power. Not the power to control, but the power to create. So what will you do with this truth? Will you continue to shrink yourself into a skull, into a nervous system, into cells? Or will you expand into the field that has always been yours? Because here is the truth you cannot ignore. Reality is not responding to your body. Reality is responding to your consciousness. The body is the antenna. The signal is you. And right now, as you hear these words, you are broadcasting. You are shaping what tomorrow brings. You are deciding which frequency the antenna receives. So take this moment as more than a thought. Take it as a doorway. Step through it. Feel yourself beyond skin, beyond age, beyond the weight of old stories. Feel yourself as the field, because when you do, everything changes. And if you want to prove it to yourself, begin the way that Doctor did. Sit in stillness. Close your eyes. Let your awareness expand an inch beyond your body, then a foot, then a mile. Keep stretching. Notice that nothing stops you. Notice that the field welcomes you. You are not small. You never were. You are vast. And when you live as vast, the world has no choice but to bend. So ask yourself now, if the brain is the radio and the body is the antenna, where is the true signal? What if it has always been you, waiting to remember? Your energy speaks louder than your language. Think about that. How many times have you said the right words, smiled at the right moment, repeated the right affirmations, yet deep down nothing changed? How many times did you claim I am happy, while your chest tightened with fear, while your body whispered doubt? That is the conflict. That is the invisible war happening inside you. On the surface, your mind performs optimism. It builds vision boards. It repeats mantras. It plays the role of belief. But beneath that surface, your nervous system is still broadcasting fear, broadcasting unworthiness, broadcasting memories that never healed. This is why reality does not shift. Because the universe is not listening to your words. It is listening to your vibration. It hears the signal beneath the performance. And that signal is shaped by the body, not the script of the intellect. Ask yourself, how many times have you wondered why nothing seems to work, no matter how hard you try? This is why. Because there is a mismatch, a split between what you say and what you actually feel. Science confirms this. Neuroscience has proven that the nervous system stores emotional memories. Trauma, rejection, failure. These memories shape unconscious reactions. They fire automatically. They trigger fear before your conscious mind can intervene. And until those vibrations are reset, your reality reflects the old patterns again and again. So even when you say, I'm safe, if your nervous system is still vibrating with danger, the field mirrors danger. Even when you say, I am love, if your heart is still vibrating with abandonment, the field mirrors loneliness. This is the war within you, a war of signals. And your reality is nothing more than the echo of the stronger one. That is why your energy always overpowers your language. The body never lies. The vibration never hides. But here is the secret. The mismatch is not permanent. The split can be healed. Alignment can be chosen. And when it is, the entire field responds. Listen to this story. A Hollywood actor once confessed that his greatest fear was rejection. Every audition, he walked in with a smile, telling himself, "I am confident." But inside, his nervous system screamed no. His vibration was fear, and the role slipped through his fingers. Again and again, until one day he faced the fear directly. He practiced not just saying the words, but shifting the vibration. He learned to breathe differently, to feel the signal of trust inside his body, to transmit confidence rather than perform it. And that was the moment everything changed. He landed the role that made his career, not because of the words he said, but because of the vibration he carried. So what about you? How many opportunities have passed you by, not because you were unworthy, but because your vibration contradicted your desire? How many doors have stayed closed because the body whispered no while the mind shouted yes? This is the invitation. To stop pretending, to stop performing positivity, to begin transmitting truth, to let your vibration and your language finally match. And here is the choice you must make now. Will you continue to repeat the right words while ignoring the hidden broadcast of fear? Or will you pause and align? Will you choose coherence? Because coherence is the only language reality cannot ignore, feel the urgency. Every second you stay misaligned, you reinforce the old vibration. Every moment you hesitate, you send the same signal back into the field, and the field mirrors it again. Another day, another week, another year, but alignment can happen in an instant. It begins the moment you acknowledge the split, the moment you admit that your nervous system holds the louder voice. That awareness is the first step to change. So let me ask you again. What are you really broadcasting right now? Not what you are saying, not what you want others to hear, but what your body is transmitting in silence. Because that is what the universe hears. That is what it responds to. And if you are ready to shift, declare it now. Write it, speak it, feel it. Say, "I choose coherence," because that statement is more than words. It is a signal. It is an act of alignment. It is the moment you stop fighting yourself and start transmitting the truth of who you are. Your energy speaks louder than your language, always. And when you finally let the two align, the world has no choice but to listen. Your heart is an electromagnetic engine thousands of times more powerful than your brain. Have you ever been told the opposite? That the brain is the master, the controller, the seat of intelligence? What if that was only half the story? What if the real generator of your reality beats silently in your chest? Think about this. Every second your heart sends signals, not just through blood, but through waves of energy that extend far beyond your skin. Waves that reach into the space around you. Waves that interact with the people near you before you even speak a word. And here is the mystery. Why do some people walk into a room and instantly shift the energy, while others go unnoticed? Why do you sometimes feel peace around a stranger, or tension without explanation? The answer is not in their words. It is in their field. It is in their heart. The HeartMath Institute has shown this in numbers that cannot be ignored. The heart produces a magnetic field thousands of times stronger than the brain. This field can be measured. It can be seen influencing not only your own body, but the physiology of others. When you feel gratitude, compassion, joy, your heart rhythm becomes smooth, coherent, harmonious. That harmony improves cognition. It heals the body. It creates clarity of thought. But when you feel fear, anger, resentment, the heart rhythm becomes chaotic. That chaos weakens immunity. It clouds judgment. It broadcasts disorder into the field dot. So ask yourself right now, what are you sending out? What is your heart radiating when you are not paying attention? Because whether you realize it or not, your heart is always broadcasting, always shaping the field that mirrors back your life. And here lies the forgotten power. You thought the brain controlled your destiny, but the heart writes the frequency. The brain interprets. The heart initiates. Let me tell you a story. In Texas, a single mother lived in the shadows of depression. Her mind told her she was broken. Her brain repeated the loops of despair. Nothing worked until she discovered one practice. Each morning, she sat quietly, placed her hand on her chest, and generated gratitude. Not just thinking the word, but feeling it, breathing it, pulsing it through her heart. Day after day, the rhythm shifted. Her body began to heal. Her clarity returned. Her energy lifted. Gratitude rewired her field, and the depression dissolved. Not by chance, by coherence. That is the power you have been carrying without knowing. The power to create coherence inside, so the outside mirrors harmony back to you. So what happens when your mind, your heart, and your body sing the same frequency? What happens when the words you speak, the emotions you feel, and the signals your nervous system sends finally align? That is when you become magnetic. That is when the field cannot resist you. That is when reality bends. But feel the urgency. Every moment you stay in chaos, you reinforce the same cycle. Every heartbeat in fear broadcasts disorder, and the field answers with more disorder. You are standing at a threshold. One path leads to repetition, the other to coherence. Which one will you choose? This is not abstract. This is not mystical fluff. This is physics. This is biology. This is measurable. The heart has always been the hidden master. The field has always been listening. So why wait? Why pretend the brain alone will carry you forward? Step into the truth your body already knows. Align with the heart. Generate gratitude. Breathe coherence. Let your heart become the signal that changes everything. And if you feel the pull, if you feel ready to explore the strength beyond the brain, then take this moment and declare it. Place your focus on your heart and imagine sending gratitude into the field. And if this resonates, let your action match your intention. Show it now, because action seals vibration. Remember, your heart is not just an organ. It is an engine that can heal, align, attract, and transform. The brain may calculate, but the heart creates. So I ask you again, what will happen when your mind, your heart, and your body sing the same song? What reality will open when the signal is coherent? The answer is waiting, and it begins with you. You do not get what you want. You get who you are. Read that again. Let it hit you. How many times have you chased results, run after goals, begged reality to change, only to end up with the same emptiness inside? How many times did you reach a milestone and still feel the void echoing back at you? That is the trap. Because reality does not give you what you say you want. It mirrors what you are being. So ask yourself right now, who are you being in this moment? Not what do you desire? Not what do you write on your vision board? Who are you right now in frequency, in energy, in vibration? This is the shift most people never make. They think manifestation is about wanting harder, speaking louder, trying more. But wanting is surface. Being is the core. Joe Dispenza explains it with clarity. Your thoughts are electric. Your emotions are magnetic. Together, when aligned, they create a coherent signal. That signal is what the field responds to. But if your thoughts say one thing and your emotions say another, the broadcast is scrambled. The field has nothing clear to mirror. So you want love? Stop saying, I want love. Become love. You want freedom? Stop chasing freedom. Live as freedom. You want wealth? Stop begging for wealth. Radiate wealth. That is the hidden key. Not asking, becoming. But here is the danger. If you only chase the result without shifting who you are, you will keep meeting the same hollow cycle. You will reach, grasp, almost touch, and lose it again. Because the vibration of lack cannot create abundance. The vibration of fear cannot create safety. The vibration of doubt cannot create trust. This is not punishment. This is mechanics. Energy matches energy. Frequency mirrors frequency. The field is neutral. It reflects. And you are the one tuning the dial. Think of this. A technology engineer in Silicon Valley worked endless hours. He dreamed of a breakthrough. He wanted to start his own company. He read books, took courses, tried every strategy. But nothing worked. Opportunity seemed invisible. Until he shifted. He began to practice not wanting wealth, but being wealth. He breathed into gratitude as if he already had it. He carried himself as if success was inevitable. He tuned his nervous system into coherence. And that was when the opportunities appeared. A chance meeting, an unexpected partnership. The door to his startup opened. Not by luck, by frequency. So here is the question. Who are you being? Because wanting is not enough. Wanting is begging. Being is broadcasting. And reality listens to the broadcast. Feel the urgency. Every moment you delay, you reinforce the same old frequency. Every day you keep saying, I want, you send out the signal of lack, and the field mirrors lack back to you. But in the instant you shift, in the moment you embody, everything changes. The field responds. The mirror reflects. And life, REARRANGES. This is not about pretending. This is not about forcing. This is about coherence. About your thoughts and emotions finally singing the same note. That is when the frequency is clean. That is when the field has no choice but to reflect you. So pause now. Who are you being in this second? Are you still the seeker? Or are you the one who already lives the reality you desire? You do not get what you want. You get who you are. And that truth can liberate you or trap you, depending on your choice. If you want to anchor the shift, declare it. Not with desperation, but with coherence. Write it. Feel it. Comment it. Say, I am the new frequency. Because when you declare it, you begin to embody it. And when you embody it, the field mirrors it. So let me ask you again. If reality is just a broadcast station, how will you turn the dial? What frequency will you choose to live? Because your life is waiting to reflect it back to you. And the choice is yours right now. You shift dimensions not by where you go, but by who you become. Sit with that for a moment. How many times have you felt trapped inside a heavy reality? A life that seems fixed, unmovable, unchangeable. How many times did you believe you had to run away, to move somewhere else, to escape? But what if the door was never outside? What if the shift has always been inside? Reality is not a single box. Reality is a spectrum of frequencies. And each frequency is a doorway into a different version of existence. When you vibrate in fear, you step into a dimension of limitation. When you vibrate in love, you enter a dimension of possibility. Every feeling, every thought, every emotion tunes you into a new layer of reality. So here is the question. What frequency are you living in now? And what dimension is that frequency creating for you? This is not theory. Quantum physics has already revealed the secret. The observer effect. The simple act of observing changes the outcome. The world is not solid until you look at it. Your attention collapses possibility into reality, which means you are not stuck in a single fixed dimension. You are the one choosing it with every vibration you emit. Think about that. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are a traveler across frequencies. And every shift in vibration is a shift in dimension. But here is the danger. If you keep replaying the same emotions, the same fears, the same doubts, you will keep entering the same heavy dimension. Again and again. A loop of repetition disguised as fate. Yet in the instant you change your vibration, the entire dimension changes. Not tomorrow. Now. This is not magic. This is mechanics. Emotions are energy codes. Each code unlocks a different version of reality. And the key is in your hands. Let me show you through a story. In Florida, an athlete faced a devastating injury. Doctors told him his career was over. The reality around him felt heavy, hopeless, final. But he refused to stay in that dimension. He began to tune himself to the frequency of resilience. Each day he visualized not his broken body, but his powerful return. He felt the strength in his heart before it returned to his muscles. He embodied the vibration of victory before the evidence appeared. And slowly, the impossible happened. His body responded. His recovery became miraculous. He stepped into a new dimension, not by traveling anywhere, by becoming someone new. So ask yourself now, what channel are you broadcasting? Are you still tuned into despair, waiting for reality to free you? Or are you willing to retune, to shift, to broadcast the vibration of who you want to be? Feel the urgency, because every moment you stay in the old frequency, you lock yourself into the old dimension. And the longer you stay, the deeper the illusion of permanence becomes. But the door is always open. The shift is always possible. One breath, one choice, one vibration can move you into an entirely different experience of life. This is why chasing results will never work, because results belong to dimensions. If you do not shift the frequency, you cannot step into the dimension where those results exist. You cannot demand wealth while vibrating lack. You cannot demand love while vibrating fear. You cannot demand freedom while vibrating doubt. You must become the one who already lives there. You must embody the frequency first. Then the dimension responds. So here's the invitation. Do not ask how to escape. Ask who you must become to shift. Do not ask when things will change. Ask what vibration you are broadcasting now. Because the moment you change it, the moment you embody the higher code, the mirror of reality has no choice but to rearrange. And if you are ready to take this leap, do it now. Do not wait. Do not postpone. Share it, speak it, declare it. Let your action anchor your new frequency. Because alignment is not just a thought. It is an act. You shift dimensions not by where you go, but by who you become. The only question is, who will you choose to be now? And if emotions are the code, what key will you press to step into the dimension waiting for you? Sadness slows the field. Joy accelerates it. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you felt stuck, trapped in endless delays, watching opportunities pass you by? How many times have you worked harder, thought stronger, tried to push through, and yet life still felt heavy, slow, resistant? The reason is not effort. The reason is emotion. Your emotions are energy codes. They are not random feelings. They are signals shaping the field that reflects your life. When you live in sadness, fear, or anxiety, the field slows. It drags. It mirrors back stagnation. But when you live in joy, gratitude, and trust, the field accelerates. Possibilities open. Synchronicities flow. Reality moves. So ask yourself right now, what code are you sending into the field? What frequency are you broadcasting with your emotions? This is not philosophy. This is science. Neuroscience has proven that the brain is plastic. Neuroplasticity shows that your brain rewires itself based on repeated emotional states. If you live in fear, your neural pathways strengthen fear. If you live in joy, your brain literally builds new circuits of resilience, creativity, and clarity. Your nervous system is not fixed. It is being trained every moment by the emotions you allow out. So the truth is this: you are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are training your brain with them, and the field responds accordingly. Let me give you a story. A veteran in America lived with PTSD for years. His body carried the trauma of war. His nervous system replayed fear every day. His life was trapped in a slow, heavy field. Nothing seemed to change until he discovered mindfulness meditation. At first, it was only minutes a day, breathing, watching, allowing emotions to rise and pass. Slowly, the brain began to rewire. The pathways of fear weakened. New pathways of calm and safety grew. His nervous system shifted. His field accelerated. Life returned. Joy replaced despair, not because the past changed, but because his emotional code changed. This is the power you hold. Not in chasing results, not in forcing reality, but in mastering your emotional frequency. So feel the urgency. Because every time you sink into anxiety, every time you replay doubt, you are not just feeling. You are programming. You are shaping tomorrow with today's emotions. But the reverse is also true. Every time you choose joy, gratitude, compassion, even in small amounts, you accelerate the field. You bend reality toward flow. You create coherence. And coherence is magnetic. So the real question is this: will you keep living as a prisoner of unconscious emotions? Or will you step into mastery, choosing emotions that align with the life you want? Sadness slows the field. Joy accelerates it. The choice is yours right now. And if you are ready to reset your energy field, declare it. Anchor it. Write it. Say it. Comment, "I choose joy." Not as empty words, but as a signal. A vibration that rewires your brain, reshapes your nervous system, and accelerates the field of your life. Remember, your emotions are not passengers. They are drivers. They are the codes that shift dimensions. And the moment you choose, the moment you embody, the moment you feel, reality must answer. So ask yourself once more: how long will you let sadness slow your field? How long will you let fear drag you down? And if joy is the accelerator, why not choose it now? Every time you procrastinate, you are sending the signal, "I am not ready," to the universe. Let that truth hit you. How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do, but you delayed? How many times did you say tomorrow, later, someday, while inside you felt the weight of regret building? That hesitation was not just wasted time. It was a broadcast, a vibration, and the universe echoed it back with more waiting, more delays, more missed chances. So ask yourself, how many opportunities have slipped away, not because you are incapable, but because your signal was unclear? This is the loop. Procrastination is not laziness. It is vibration. Each pause, each delay, each moment of doubt reinforces the field of not ready, and the field mirrors it perfectly. But here is the breakthrough. You can interrupt the loop. Mel Robbins uncovered a simple, powerful method, the 5-second rule. When your mind hesitates, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move. You act before the vibration of fear takes hold. You cut the loop. You create a new broadcast. Think about that. 5 seconds is all it takes to break years of conditioning. 5 seconds to tell the universe, "I am ready. I am moving. I am in alignment." And this is not theory. A student in Boston once lived in the grip of fear. Every time he stood to speak in class, his heart froze. His voice broke. He delayed opportunities again and again. His career felt doomed before it began. Until one day he tried the 5-second rule. Instead of waiting, he counted down and launched into action. The fear was still there, but the action overpowered it. He spoke. He grew. He transformed. That single shift opened doors to leadership, to career, to life. Not because the fear vanished, because the signal changed. So here is the challenge for you. How many times have you let hesitation decide your future? How many doors stayed closed because you whispered not ready when the universe was waiting for your yes? Feel the urgency. Every second you hesitate, you train your brain to doubt. You program your nervous system with delay. You reinforce the old vibration. And the mirror of reality cannot help but reflect it back. But in the instant you act, in the moment you shift, the entire signal changes. The field begins to mirror readiness. Opportunities appear. Momentum builds. Reality accelerates. You are not stuck. You are broadcasting. And your broadcast can change in 5 seconds. So imagine this. What if, instead of waiting, you moved now? What if every time fear whispered pause, you counted down and leapt? What if you lived as the signal of readiness every single day? How different would your life look? You already know the truth. Procrastination is a decision, and every decision is a vibration. You are not avoiding action. You are creating delay. But delay is not destiny unless you keep choosing it. So here is your moment. Will you continue to send not ready into the field? Or will you cut the loop right here, right now? If you are ready to prove it, anchor it. Declare it. Write it. Say it. Comment 5 South. Not as a gimmick, but as a signal. A declaration that you are done broadcasting delay. A commitment that you are ready to act. Remember, every hesitation is a message. Every action is a broadcast. And the universe does not listen to your excuses. It listens to your frequency. So let me ask you again. If you are the access point of the universe, what changes the moment you realize this? And more importantly, what happens when you choose to act on it now? You do not chase reality. You are the gateway through which the universe flows. Let that truth settle in your chest. How many years have you been taught to run after opportunities, to chase dreams, to fight for recognition? How many times did you believe reality was out there, somewhere ahead of you, and your job was to catch it? What if that was the greatest illusion of all? Because here is the revelation. Reality is not something you pursue. Reality is something that pours through you. You are not the seeker. You are the portal. You are the access point through which infinite possibilities collapse into form. So the question becomes urgent. If you are the gateway, what are you letting through? What vibration? What frequency? What signal are you broadcasting to the field? Quantum physics already hints at this truth. The field of infinite potential exists at all times. Nothing is fixed until it is observed. The observer effect proves that consciousness itself collapses possibility into reality, which means reality does not exist outside you. It emerges through you. You are the one shaping the wave into form. Think about the power in that. Every thought, every feeling, every state of being is not small. It is the command that tells the field what to become. You are not begging reality. You are instructing it. But here is the trap. When you believe you must chase, you broadcast lack. When you think you are behind, you emit the vibration of not enough. And the field mirrors that lack perfectly. More chasing, more striving, more emptiness. The moment you stop running, the moment you recognize you are already the gateway, everything changes. You no longer look outward. You turn inward. You choose the state you want to broadcast. And the universe cannot help but flow through that signal. This is not philosophy. This is lived truth. A Los Angeles artist once shared his story. For years, he chased recognition. He networked endlessly. He begged for opportunities. And yet, nothing moved. His art was ignored. His spirit was exhausted. Until one day, he stopped chasing. He stopped broadcasting lack. He began to live as if his art was already worthy, already seen, already celebrated. He painted not to get attention, but to radiate joy. He became the gateway of creativity. And without warning, the invitation arrived. An international exhibition. The recognition he once chased flowed to him, not because he ran faster, because he became the portal through which it had to arrive. So what about you? How much longer will you chase what you already carry? How much longer will you act as if reality is distant when it is waiting to pour through you? Feel the urgency. Every time you chase, you reinforce separation. Every time you beg, you affirm lack. But every time you embody, every time you choose coherence, every time you step into the frequency of already, reality collapses into your hands. You do not need to dream of someday. You need to embody today. You do not need to wish for what you are not. You need to live as what you already are. So imagine it now. What if you stopped chasing love and started being love? What if you stopped hunting wealth and started radiating abundance? What if you stopped begging for freedom and started breathing it in every cell? That shift would make you magnetic. That shift would open the portal. That shift would let the universe pour through you. You do not chase reality. You are the gateway through which the universe flows. And if you are ready to anchor this truth, let your action declare it. Do not just think it. Do not just hope it. Feel it. Live it. Show it. If this resonates, drop a like right now. Not as a gesture, as a signal, a vibration, a declaration that you are ready to stop chasing and start being the access point of creation itself. So I leave you with this. If you no longer had to dream, if you no longer had to chase, if you were already the gateway, how would you live right now? What state would you embody? What frequency would you broadcast? Because the field is listening, and it is waiting for your answer. You do not pretend. You embody. Ask yourself, how many times have you tried to fake confidence, to repeat affirmations without feeling them, to act as if you believed, but inside nothing shifted? How many times have you forced yourself to play a role, hoping the outside would finally match, only to return to the same reality? That is the trap of pretending. Pretending broadcasts lack. Embodying broadcasts truth. So what is embodiment? It is not about wishing. It is not about hoping. It is about living now as the frequency you desire. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Embodiment is in your breath. The way you inhale as if you are already free. The way you exhale as if you are already safe. Each breath tells your nervous system what reality to tune into. Embodiment is in your posture. The way you sit, stand, move. Are you curled into fear, or do you open your chest as if life is already yours? The body broadcasts louder than the words. Embodiment is in your inner dialogue. Not just saying I am ready, but feeling the vibration of readiness. Speaking to yourself as the one who already lives the life, not the one still waiting for it. Embodiment is in your imagination, charged with emotion. Not a distant fantasy, but a felt experience. When you close your eyes and feel the joy, the freedom, the abundance as if it is happening now, the brain cannot tell the difference. Neuroscience proves this. Neuroplasticity shows that repeated emotional practice rewires the brain. Circuits fire. Structures shift. The brain reorganizes to match the embodied state dot, so embodiment is not pretending. It is training. It is shaping your nervous system, your brain, your frequency to broadcast coherence. And when coherence is strong, the field cannot resist. This is not theory. This is lived proof. A startup CEO in San Francisco was drowning in uncertainty. He wanted success. He wanted investors. But every pitch was shaky. Every meeting collapsed. Until he discovered embodiment. For 30 days, he practiced living as if the deal was already signed. He breathed like it. He walked like it. He spoke like it. He carried the vibration of certainty. And then it happened. The $1 million contract arrived. Not because he pretended, because he embodied dot. So what about you? How much longer will you fake what you want instead of becoming it? How much longer will you chase results instead of radiating the frequency that creates them? Feel the urgency. Every time you pretend, you reinforce separation. You tell the field you are not yet. But every time you embody, you collapse the gap. You tell the field you are now. And the field has no choice but to mirror it dot. So here is your choice. Will you keep pretending, waiting, hoping? Or will you step into embodiment, breathing, moving, speaking as the one who already is? Do not underestimate the power of small acts. Each breath, each posture, each word is a signal. And signals shape the field. You do not need to force. You need to embody. You do not need to push. You need to align dot. So imagine yourself today, standing taller, breathing deeper, speaking with certainty, feeling the reality as if it is here now. That is embodiment. That is how you train the nervous system. That is how you collapse the distance between desire and reality dot. And if you are ready to step into this practice, anchor it, declare it, write it, say it, comment I embody now. Let your action become the signal that tells the field you are no longer pretending. You are becoming. Remember this. You do not pretend. You embody. And embodiment is the frequency reality cannot ignore dot. So let me leave you with this. What happens when you stop searching, stop waiting, stop faking, and start living as the one who already has it? What unfolds when you embody instead of pretend? That is the moment reality bends. That is the moment creation becomes effortless. You have never been lacking. You only forgot your true nature. Let that truth strike deep. How many years have you spent searching, chasing, striving for the missing piece? How many sleepless nights have you whispered, if only I had more, if only I were enough? But the search was always the illusion. The lack was never real. You are never broken. You are never empty. You are only asleep to who you really are dot. So ask yourself now, what happens when the search ends? What unfolds when you stop looking outward and begin creating from the presence within? This is the final key. Manifestation was never about adding more to you. It was about remembering, returning, realizing that everything you chased has always been inside you. Waiting for expression. Science is catching up with this ancient truth. Joe Dispenza has shown through meditation that when you step into a new state of being, when you embody a new personality, the brain and body reorganize. Neuroplasticity reshapes pathways. A new personality creates a new reality. You are not waiting for life to change. You are becoming the change. And when you embody this, searching falls away. You no longer beg for signs. You become the sign. Listen to this story. In Chicago, a woman lost everything. Bankruptcy shattered her world. She searched desperately for external validation, for proof that she was worthy, for a sign her life would turn around. Nothing came, until one day she stopped searching. She realized she was not missing anything. She was the signal itself. She embodied abundance, gratitude, strength. And reality shifted. Opportunities appeared. Relationships healed. Her life transformed, not because something arrived from outside, but because she remembered her true nature. So the invitation is here. Stop searching. Start remembering. Stop chasing. Start creating. Feel this moment. Your breath, your heartbeat, your awareness right now. This is not lack. This is life. This is power. And when you create from here, from presence, reality mirrors it back in ways that feel miraculous. You have never been lacking. You only forgot your true nature. And the moment you remember, the field opens. But the question is urgent. Will you keep wandering in circles, always searching for the next proof, the next sign, the next someday? Or will you choose now, in this exact moment, to return to who you truly are? Because this is not about waiting. This is not about hoping. This is about remembering. You are already whole. You are already the portal. You are already the one the universe flows through. So anchor this truth. Declare it. Feel it in your bones. Speak it into the field. Comment, I remember to mark this moment. To lock in this shift. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel the awakening stirring inside, then let your action seal the vibration. Like this video. Share it with those who need to hear it. Subscribe so this journey continues with you. Not as a ritual, not as an obligation, but as a declaration, an action that says I am ready. I am remembering. I am stepping into my true self now. This is the end of the search. This is the beginning of creation. So I leave you with this final question. Are you ready to step into your highest version? Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now, in this very moment?